yeah, I guess let's do news. So, uh, most excitable news that we're thinking is, yeah, there were some key visuals and like a release date, well, a release month for Mashal, the anime.
Fuck
Um,
yeah.
which is, yeah, I don't think either of us are expecting it as soon as it's coming because it's going to be here in April. So,
That's like that's crazy soon. I was expecting it to be like Q3, maybe Q4 this year, but not like I suppose that's Q2, but crazy. It still seems entirely too early to me. But I mean, the manga is like it's in the last big fight now. Like the main character is fighting the big boss. So I mean, I guess they're probably going to try and release the first episode of the anime either the same week or possibly the week after the final chapter of the manga go releases. So I mean, it's pretty good timing, but yeah, it's a bit weird. The last arc hasn't been great. I was
okay.
expecting more, but it's a very very fun series. It's like the bastard love child of Harry Potter, One Punch Man, and Gintama. Like it's the weirdest fucking series. So I expect it will do quite well because it's very funny and the fights make no sense. So I think that will win a lot of people over. But I've been wrong before.
But we're going to have good chatting about it because
Cool.
I read like the first chapter and then just didn't keep reading because trying to read all the other stuff that I keep meaning to read is um so yeah, I read like the first chapter and I liked it, but then they're like, "Oh, we're making the anime." So I'm like, "I'll just watch that then." So it'll be interesting because we'll have a good thing to discuss where it'll be like I'm going fresh in with the anime, you've read the manga, so we'll have a nice, good, even assessment of this show.
Indeed.
Um, yeah, the characters. Uh, yeah, because from reading the first chapter, they all have like different lines or whatever on their faces.
Yeah.
That only magic people have, right?
Yeah.
Um,
And the number of lines you have on your face denotes how strong you are. So if you have the one line, that's like base level. Two lines is wow, that's someone pretty special. And then I believe there is talk of people with three lines, but we like it's not something that you kind of see in
huh.
regular sort of life.
But yeah, I mean the character like key visuals look kind of cool. It looks a lot more. I don't know. I think I was expecting it to be a bit grittier, but it's quite clean and colourful.
Nothing about this show is gritty. It's gonna be it's like it's full on slapstick. Like it's gonna be the dumbest show released that season. It's gonna
Okay,
be great.
yeah, because for anyone that doesn't know what it is, it's just he's not magic and he's just insanely strong, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
insanely strong.
Yeah. He
Um,
calls it muscle magic, but it's just being ripped as shit.
so yeah, it should be fun, and that's gonna kind of bridge the gap, or at least keep me occupied until uh Jujutsu Kaisen comes back. I feel,
Hell
which is like July, um,
yeah. Got plenty of time to catch up before then. Sweet.
because Attack on Titan's gonna be back next month, I believe in March. But it's just a 1 hour one-off special, so it's kind of like it's not gonna
Why not? Yeah.
keep us occupied for a period of time. Um, and then yeah, but yeah, and then you were talking about Undead Unluck
Yeah.
that's coming at some point, but we are actually um,
Yeah. All we've had for that is like the first teaser. No idea when that's actually going to drop, but when that does, that is one to watch. It's one of my favorite kind of ongoing manga, and we're in the last arc now, and it's been just ridiculously good. So I'm very very much looking forward to seeing that adaptation because like it's one of those shows that's just been consistently great and has somehow not really gotten the support that I feel like it should get. I think people just don't really give it a chance, but if they did, they'd see it's freaking great. It's a really fun concept, but kind of just never really gets any attention, and that's sad. Makes me
No,
sad. Yeah.
that's how I've always felt about like watching Mob Psycho. I
I
thought
thought
that
that was quite
it,
popular.
yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's not as popular as obviously. I mean, My Hero.
Yeah.
Kids love it, so it's popular. I don't know. I've just never really met anyone else that's like, oh yeah, I love Mob Psycho, or even has watched it. Not that I frequently run into people that are huge anime fans, although well, they're usually My Hero fans. I've said this. I wear my bag when I go out in public and people talk to me. But yeah. Uh,
Like I've been obviously I got Crunchyroll. So I've been watching through Mob, loving it. Solid Zero, about halfway through season 2, really enjoying it. But I've had the exact same conversation with about 5 different anime fans, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, oh yeah, I got Crunchyroll. Okay, what are you watching? Oh, I'm starting off watching through Mob. Oh, great series, really fun. You're gonna enjoy it. What are you watching next? Oh, I'm gonna watch To Your Eternity next.
oh
Oh, I hope
really?
you got tissues. That show's gonna kill you. And, oh, what are you gonna watch after that? Oh, I was thinking, oh, why am I going to watch after that? My brain is completely melted out of my ear. Like from after that, I'm going to watch Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Like, oh, brilliant series. Like everyone's just like, oh yeah, Mob, fun series. Should get more credit. Second series, Tear Eternity. Bring tissues, you're going to need them.
Yeah.
Third series, Slime. Brilliant. Like even the most beloved series of all time, like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood level appreciated series. It's always that one dickhead that's like, oh yeah, I didn't really like it. I thought it was mid. Like, yeah, A, fuck you, no one says mid anymore. And B, like, everyone always has to be contrarian, but for some bizarre reason, I don't know if it's just I haven't spoken to enough people about it or what, but every person I've spoken to has been like, oh yeah, Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, A-star anime, absolutely brilliant, you're gonna love it. And I'm like, is it really that good that no one seems to have any criticism for it? Like, I've legitimately not spoken to anyone that doesn't think it's one of the best anime released in recent times, and it's kind of worrying me because I think I'm not going to like it that much.
No, it's really good. It is really good. It's solid.
Mm.
It's Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything about it that I don't like.
Like, it's always like, oh yeah, it starts a bit slow, but once it gets going, it's fucking brilliant. And it's like, okay, but there's got to be something wrong with it. Like, it can't be that good, considering it, like, outside of the anime community, it doesn't seem to be that popular.
I feel like other than uh people maybe being annoyed if a lot of people don't like it when the characters are too overpowered or whatever. And
Unless their name is Kirito for some reason, who just gets a pass.
but yeah, like
That guy.
the guy in Slime, it's a continuation, like a continuous thing of him growing stronger, and that's because he starts as a slime and he's acquiring powers, and that's the story. And but he's like so powerful right now where we're at, and it's just like yeah, you think going into season 2, oh, we're just gonna get to a point where nothing's a threat and blah blah blah, but no, it's like so good, and they're just introducing like, and then that as well. Oh, we're not gonna meet characters that we like more. Do you know what I mean? Or we're never gonna, they're not gonna be able to keep throwing cool characters at us, and then they just do, and you love every single character, and yeah, they all meld together, and yeah, it's good. The movie was a bit long.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to judge that against the series because it's just kind of
Yeah. It
fun
doesn't get.
filler. Yeah. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, the movie was still good. It's quite slow getting into with the characters they introduced in the movie, but it's fine. I forgive. I forgive.
Fair enough. Very benevolent of you. I just have
Yeah.
to wait and see when I watch it, but I don't know.
It's not got like it's much more easygoing. I feel like and it's not quite as niche and cool as like Mob. I feel like Mob has this very own like
Yeah.
uniqueness about it.
Mob is just off doing its
It's
own
just
thing.
doing its own thing.
Yeah.
Slime's very like it's very clean. The animation's nice, and it's just yeah. If you like, I mean, you're into like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff like that. So if you like adventure-y, old timey stuff, then it's gonna be good.
Fair enough.
Um, we watched episode 5 and 6 of Sometime Rendering.
Yes. Sort of. It
I
was.
I made
Yeah.
I made serious notes for like while I was watching the 5th episode, and then the 6th episode I watched and was like, my brain wasn't taking it in.
Weirdly, I think what it was the fifth episode was just a lot.
Yeah.
Like the first four episodes, it was very like, okay, Groundhog Day, they're in a loop. Here's some panties. Oh no, we're dead again, but we've come back, it's fine. And then the fifth episode was like, welcome to hell. I am your god. Like this 8 foot tall shadow motherfucker with 6 arms, like Goro, just standing there. Like, by the way, I've literally murdered every resident of the town, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. Oh well, we can. I'll blow your head off with a freaking shotgun. Hit the reset button. Like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah, it did go from 0 to 100 very quickly. Because yeah, they're kind
Yeah.
of like, oh, there's a shadow doing murderous things. Now there's a couple shadow kind of like doing murderous things. Oh, now we're just at this festival, and there's a shit ton of shadows and a giant shadow, and then they're all into a one big amalgamation of a giant shadow, and yeah, crazy, crazy, crazy. It did definitely get. This is a this anime is a lot darker and more gruesome than I was expecting going in.
Yep.
I was not expecting like hardcore action, gruesome stuff
I was
going
not
on.
expecting someone to get their head blown off with a shotgun.
So, yeah. I've just put shadows killing everyone in ritual. Crazy.
Yeah. And who was that blonde chick that showed up right at the end? Was that the one that they're all working for?
The blonde chick at the end was
Not
not.
not the one on the beach. When they were doing the big ritual and the big Shadow King was there, this blonde chick just kind of floated down from the sky
Oh,
and
the
she was like
weird.
looking at it being
That's
weird.
Mother, yeah. The one they were just
Yeah, like,
calling
that is the
Mother.
one that they were all kind of in charge of. Because that lady looked a lot like Yushio, the kid that they were there for the funeral of. So it's like,
Yeah, I
are they
don't know.
literally calling her mother because she is Ushio's mother? And this whole thing is like, I mean, there's only 3 blonde people in the whole series. They've got to be related.
Yeah, but the shadow looked at Shinpei and was like, about his eye,
Yeah,
that's Mother's eye.
yeah.
They lost it ages ago. So it's somehow in him now. And then you're like, yeah, it's all very confusing. Stuff's happening at a very fast rate. Um, yeah. And it's got to be something special to do with this island, right? Or like it's always on this island, this ritual or something. It's happened before and it's happening again. Um, but the shadow that so Ushio, um, who didn't believe that she was a shadow,
No,
right? She's
a
like, no,
bit.
it's really me. But they're like, no, you're a shadow. She went into the shadow, but then she came back out. She didn't get like absorbed like all the others because she came
Yeah,
back out to semi save the day or whatever. So
she's
that's
definitely got a little
confusing.
bit more agency than the others do,
Um,
which made us so yay, but still weird.
yeah, and then the business lady's like, oh, just tell me your name and we'll be able to save the day again.
I've got to say, I was quite glad about that because in these sort of like in time, especially in time when they just do time loop episodes, but especially when it's like seasons and movies, it seems they spent entirely too much time in it. All right, I'm in a time loop. I have to try and convince everyone that I'm in a time loop. And they're like, no, all right, you're in a loop. Just tell me that my name is this. It's my real name. You'll only know that if you're a time loop person. So just tell me that 4 episodes in, and we'll fucking knock this out straight off.
And we have now discovered that every time he refreshes, he's at a later part of the day,
Yes,
so it's not
bit of
limitless.
jeopardy.
Yeah,
That's good. I like that.
there is an
That was very
end.
needed.
Yeah, there's an
Yeah.
end game. He can't just be doing this forever.
But I was wondering, do you think the kind of the start time, so to speak, is moving forwards because he's not looping like a particular day, he's looping a particular amount of time. So the longer he stays in each loop, the further forward he will go.
Like, yeah, like the longer he gets forward, it's just pulling it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Not looping
Because
back to midnight on the 22nd of July. He's looping back
a set amount
to
of time. Yeah, I think that seems correct. If he is a time traveler and that's his ability, like, I feel like it would have a rule like that. You can only go
yeah.
this amount of time. Um, but yeah, and then
Solid.
for the sixth episode, which is basically just following more of her day from her perspective, you can see that she's like trying to assess who's a shadow and who's not, and
Yeah.
it's all
Always
happening.
hanging upside down for some reason.
Yeah, I was confused with that. And then at the very end, obviously he tells her his name, and she's like, "You're a time traveler." Credits, and then I'm honestly still not sure how I feel about this show. Again, it wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And it's longer than we were expecting. And yeah, I'm intrigued to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting so much to be revealed straight away. Like,
that's the kind of like I can't quite tell. Have they revealed so much so soon because there's just some freaking shit to come that they're prepping for, or is it going to be this thing like big burst of information? Fuck all happens for 5 episodes. Big burst of information. Fuck all happens for 5 episodes.
we'll see, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose we
I
shall
did like
see.
the slight retcon. Like, I promise I'm not a pervert. There was a reason we spent so much time focusing on that girl's underwear,
It's very
because that's
important.
how I know that the time loop went back to a certain. Like, no, I'm sorry. You were just staring at her underwear. Stop being a pervert. There was no reason for you to be looking at her underwear twice on the same day. I don't care that she changed it
Oh no, I accidentally saw up her skirt.
twice.
Oh
He's gonna just
man.
check which days what color underwear she's wearing. No, stop it. Just
Stop
get a
it.
watch.
Oh man. But yeah, so that's summertime rendering anyway.
Yeah, it's still a solid 6.5 out of 10. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the worst anime I've ever seen. I think it's just taken me a little bit to get into it. But as I say, I'm intrigued, and that's the most important thing that I want from something I'm watching. So yeah, be intrigued and want to know what happens next, because otherwise, what's the point? Yeah. Yeah, should we talk other anime from this week?
Trigun.
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah.
Trigun.
I keep posting about Trigun because it's so good.
So good. Yeah, the last couple of episodes have just been fucking, especially the one that just yesterday's episode. I think it was the day before. This week's episode was just quality.
Yeah, I'm very much enjoying it. Again, like the main differences from the original is that we're getting a lot more like in-depth look at like the Seed Project and his past and that, and it's all coming like straight away. We're not having to like spend, because I feel like you get a whole season of like the original Trigun of just like antics and stuff that's happening before you really find out what's the story behind Vash. Whereas this is like yeah, we're just gonna do everything straight away. And everything's out in the open. My brother was like, he's literally wearing a jacket that says Seed Project in it, like on it. So it's not like, which is why in the second episode, he just like tells Meryl and the other guy just everything. And yeah, it's cool. But this last episode in particular, because obviously the episode before was him and he like ended with him going up to the plant and he went all liney and the thing opened up and that led straight into, it's very nice how they're putting it all together, because that led straight into them going into like his past and showing that, and it led to him doing the thing again, and then it cut straight back. I'm very much enjoying how this show looks, how they're putting it all together. I know we enjoyed the what was not the last two but the one before with like Wolfwood's past with that animation. Do you know what I mean? They're doing a really good job. It's very pretty.
Aesthetically, it's definitely one of the best anime I've seen in a very long time. I know a lot of people weren't really too hot on the character redesigns. But they're definitely like Vash's design is definitely growing on me. And with the exception of Meryl, who I still think looks like a sort of 10-year-old, which is creepy and weird, everyone else's design, I think they nailed it.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I have no complaints about the designs for anyone except for her.
Oh.
Like the kind of the vague kind of diesel. It's not quite steampunk. It's kind of diesel punk feel to like the kind of the modern day scenes. Excellent. Like 8, 9 out of 10. Well design. Love it.
So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to the next episode.
Mm.
Because from looking back, I'm like, okay, so now how does he get his arm?
Hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, I have forgotten everything about the original series at this point in my life because I'm old and I can't retain things for longer than like a year. So, yeah, I'm just kind of like, okay, so he and Knives are plants, but they're not like plants. They couldn't actually be a plant. Vash needs to like, he's more like a human, but they planty elements.
Yeah.
I've forgotten what they call them. Independent, not an independent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
So
Yeah.
it's not original. That's something else. Independent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that, yeah. So yeah, it's just interesting to see his backstory because I can't remember if it was in the original series and how it was told. So with these new people and he's like earning their trust and he has a home again after being betrayed, like obviously like losing his almost mother kind of figure and his brother. And yeah, it's
very well executed flashback episode. I do love a good flashback episode, but if you do it poorly, it can really just like kill the pacing of the series. This, as you said, like the way they weaved it in with like,
yeah.
is Vash as a plant now? Jump back to explain a bit of that, and then perfectly segue back into him being a plant. Like, very very well done.
Yeah.
And although the guy in the kind of the second home, I can't remember his name. There was like the lady scientist and the guy scientist, and the
Yeah.
guy scientist was a monumental bell end. Fuck that guy.
Oh, he's warming to him. I can understand
Mm.
how like people will
Fucking
find
love
it
him, yeah.
hard to trust him
Yeah.
because it's like the unknown, isn't it? It's like that whole thing, and they think if he's going to threaten at all. My brother's just said that his name's Brad. Brad the Bellend, as Tahegs will say.
There are very few good Brads in the world. Just saying. Sorry to any Brads watching.
Jax, but that's Mr. Bellend to you. Yeah.
Sir Bellend.
So I understand it, but he's just a kid. And he's not even, they were made like a year ago. So he's like a kid. He's like new to this life thing. And he's already majorly messed up. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see like the rest of that story, how he gets his arm, what happens, and yeah.
I feel like someone in the series up to this point had mentioned that they were the reason he had that arm. Like in that first place they were in, I can't remember the name of, like the very first town that like the first 3 or 4 episodes were set in.
Right.
I swear the lady that the barmaid there
Okay.
was like, we're the reason he's got that messed up arm.
Oh, like he got it saving them or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he damaged it. I don't know.
Yeah, he lost an arm trying to save them, and so maybe they like got their plant to build him a replacement or something. But either way, we need to see the story for it because
Yeah,
it's a cool freaking arm.
it is. Because when he was stopping the cannon thing, whatever it's made of, it was like slightly cracking.
Yeah.
That episode was full on. That was like
Yeah.
so tense. But yeah, oh, we love him. I love Bash.
Yeah,
he's
good
great. And then I keep seeing like side by side images of like him in the original, and I'm like, do you know what? I might just like this one even more. I don't know. He's just warming. He's doing a very good job. I hope people are enjoying. From what I'm reading online, everyone seems to be saying to anyone that's like comparing it and saying, "Oh, it looks terrible," just like, shut up. It's a good show. Everyone seems to be saying it's surprisingly really really good because they all were expecting it to be terrible. I don't know why.
With good reason, to be fair.
I mean, give it a chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people are giving it a chance, and seems to be doing really well in terms of like, yeah, when I'm seeing comments and stuff on the internet. So hopefully, it will continue to be amazing this first season. We'll see if they get. I mean, I don't know if they've planned to do like one concise season, because they're doing, the story's like
They
coming
are
out.
moving, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They're moving at quite a pace. I wouldn't be surprised if they just wrapped it up in like one, maybe 22 episode season.
Oh yeah, it is missing, and I keep saying every week when we talk about it, Love and Peace. Yeah, it's not happened yet. It's not
They're going
happened.
to save it for a really important moment.
A really important moment. It's gonna happen. You're gonna be like, dash.
Yeah.
But yeah, where does it come from? That'll be if in this backstory that as we evolve we hear it, and only once he feels like he's in a better place now and he's like happier in himself, because he's clearly very 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 down, poor man. It will happen. But yeah,
it will happen eventually.
it's got to happen. Yeah. Maybe in his next big proper fight against Knives, like if he's saving. Do you know what I mean? A big fight against Knives where a lot of people's lives are at stake, and he's like, yeah. Anyway, we love Trigun Stampede.
Yeah.
It's solid show. Enjoying it a lot, and the music's great.
Sure. Yeah.
Like I added the song to my anime playlist. I shared that on the Instagram for people. If you want to listen to my anime playlist, it's almost 6 hours of anime music. So, and it's just like just the shows that I kind of watch and talk about. I added that, and then I got in my car, and what I thought was that song in my playlist was actually me just on that song in the Trigun album. So then I was just listening to the OST music. But that's cool. I don't mind listening to space cowboy music on my way to work. It's quite good, yeah.
Put you in a good mood.
Great mood. No, I was getting majorly depressed. But yeah, no, the main song especially is great, and the opening with all the sand. Yeah, I love it all. It's great. Yeah, I've forgotten everything else I'm watching because Trigun's so good. No, I haven't, because I've been messaging Taeg every time I watch something this past 2 weeks. I'm so sad. It's hitting me right in the feels, because the other thing that I'm majorly watching is To Your Eternity. No, I know Robert hasn't watched the most recent episode, so I won't go into too much detail. But the last 2 episodes have been, yeah. And I know what's coming because I've read the manga, and it's still just like hitting you right in the feels. What was it I watched? Because yeah, I watched like The Last of Us. Then I watched My Hero Academia, which is kind of, in its depressing, dark era. Then I watched like To Your Eternity, and was like sitting there crying. And then I put The Last of Us on, and I'm sitting there crying, and it's just like one thing after the other. I need something happy to watch. Where's Spy Family? Why did it end?
Why did Spy Family? Where's the freaking manga? I didn't realize it's monthly chapters, man. It's making me wait too fucking long. Yeah.
No.
I don't know if it's like, things obviously it took me a while to catch up. I don't know if it's just that they've been like on a hiatus or what, or because there's been a week off and everything. But it seems like it's monthly chapters, which is way too long for a series that has very little content per chapter.
Yeah, the only thing I read monthly is Dragon Ball Super, but kind of that's fine because everything else I get is weekly. But yeah, To Your Eternity, doing really well. We're finally at the shit's really happening now, and all the fills are out, and shit's about to really get going. And what I didn't realise is that the manga, like the third arc, around the second arc in the anime, there's like a third arc that will be like the next season. So this fourth arc, we've been on like a hiatus since the third one finished. Now it was on the Crunchyroll manga app that you get with the Crunchyroll anime app, yeah. Downloaded it to see what was on there, and there's not like, it's not shonen, but like, And so I read all of To Your Eternity on there, and then I have been checking back kind of a little bit just to see when it's coming back. Haven't checked on it for a while, and then on one of my Facebook pages, someone posted, "Oh, the manga's back. What have they done to it?" And so I just found it online somewhere because yeah, when I Crunchyroll, it's not there. None of it's there. Can't reread any of the old stuff. It's obviously been bought
Oh,
out by,
that's
or
annoying.
they've lost the rights to it or whatever. I don't know.
That's
Um,
bullshit.
so I found it online. I've read like the first like 4 chapters or whatever. I really like it. It's different, but that's my thing that I like. The first season, second arc, third arc, they're all completely different. They get a chance to explore new stuff. Really like delve into things. So I really like what it's doing right now. So I'm intrigued to see where it goes. But yeah, uh, yeah, To Your Eternity. It's good. So hopefully, it won't get cancelled and we'll get to see the next 2 arcs
Fingers crossed.
in anime form. But yeah, um, I think the only other thing I'm watching at the minute is My Hero Academia, anime wise.
Where's that up to now?
So we had last week was the Lady Nagant like entry. She fires like the one shot kind of clips his he's on the phone, goes through the phone, pins it to the wall, and it's got a speaker in it because why isn't there a speaker in her hair bullet? You know, why not? So that she I remember like when I was like reading the manga, I'm like, how is she talking to him? She's in a building like a mile away and he's there, but no, yeah. There's like a speaker communicator in her hair bullet. And just yeah, so you get the start of the fight and they kind of set up that he's gonna use another quirk, but they didn't reveal what it was in that episode. But in this next episode, they're like, of course, it's Farjin, which is his build up of power. So like by doing a repeated movement, he can store up energy and then release that. So he's just there doing loads of squats.
I've got to say, of all these quirks, that was the one that it's not that I don't get it. I just think it's kind of it's not weak because it's ridiculously powerful, but like all his other ones kind of work together, and then
Yeah,
Fajin just seems a bit like, why are you there? What are
I
you doing?
think especially now we know for manga readers know what his next quirk is. When that came out, I was like, does this not almost make Farjin like
Yeah,
with his super
little bit.
strength and that last quirk he gets, it's a little bit like obsolete, not necessary. I think at the point that we get it, which is now, other than the silly way he has to build it up and the silly way they showed that, I don't know why they had to show him doing so many squats. They could have just gone and it builds up. Not even kind of focused on that. Yeah, like with this fight of Lady Nagant, it's great. It works fantastic, and it's cool.
That was excellent segue. I was on Reddit because I have no life, and I was on the My Hero subreddit because I really have no life. And the guy was like, "Oh, it seems really weird to me that everyone's really enjoying the Dark Deku arc in the anime and really loving the Lady Nagant fight." And I thought everyone hated that arc. I was like, "Bitch, what? Like that arc, the Dark Deku arc, is the reason I got back into the manga. I'd stopped reading after the Overhaul arc because I was getting a bit boring.
Mm.
And then when I saw some stills of Dark Deku, I was like, damn, that looks pretty savage. So I gave it a try and I started reading it again. I was like, oh, wait, no, this is actually a really fucking good arc. Like, I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the Dark Deku arc, except me complaining that my boy Kirishima was kind of useless in it.
Aw.
Like, am I living in a little bubble and actually everyone hated that arc? Or is that guy talking shit because it's Reddit and that's all you do on Reddit?
I think I've not ever heard anybody say that they don't like that arc. And like
Hmm.
online, everyone it seems to be the thing that people were waiting for this past season, and
Yeah.
now it's like this is what people have been waiting for it to get to. Like we're just waiting for the coolness of Dark Deku. Like, um, yeah. So
Nearly said a couple of massive spoilers, but I'll save that for our manga discussion. But yeah, like this arc has a couple of real like maybe not 10 out of 10. Nothing in this manga is 10 out of 10. But like there's a couple of high eights out of 10 moments in this arc. Like, I don't understand how anyone can dislike it. It's solid.
Like, I think we had our first best moment, which was the muscle fight with the one
Yeah,
punch. That was
that was
like
hilarious.
a solid
Yeah,
best moment of the whole series, like across the board. Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of um the Lady Nagant fight that we're in now. It
yeah,
literally did.
great
So it
fight.
has ended. Hawks just swept in and caught her. Um, obviously, like Chizaki is getting recaptured or whatever. Um, yeah, but she gives them the information. She says
The
in
all important information.
she says in 2 months, in a mansion somewhere in the mountains or whatever she said. Shit'll go down. Anyway, so from the next episode, it'll be like, I would imagine, the heroes planning to thwart whatever plans. But yeah, it's good. I don't know why anyone would not be liking it right now, especially like compared to like the last season that we had. This one's been much stronger. So
That's what I
and
thought. And it introduces Lady Nagant, and Lady Nagant is fine as fuck. So
yeah, just like 2 episodes
it's
basically, unfortunately, but
yeah,
she is awesome.
she is.
I sense lots and lots of cosplayers are coming this May in London.
So much cosplay. Yeah, she is like it won't quite reach sort of the Harley Quinn after Birds of Prey levels, but I think it'll be pretty high.
Yeah, definitely. And the like Dark Deku.
Oh yeah,
Like now
totally.
anime fans have seen.
I've already seen a couple of people working on that cosplay, so there's
Yeah.
definitely gonna be a few.
Because especially if you've already got a Deku with like just before that happens, Deku with the like the leg guards and all that. If you've already got one of those costumes, it's like not too much hard work to be like, I'm gonna update it slightly, grab my little yellow thing, dirty it all up a bit, boom, new costume,
Uh,
minimal effort.
the big scary hood thing. Love the scary hood thing.
Scary bunny. But yeah, yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's still solid, so I'm looking forward to the rest of the like this second half of the season. Um, yeah, am I
I will catch up at
watching?
some point, but not for a while.
I mean, I think there are things to come in this season that you might just like jump in and watch. If I go, oh, it happened, this thing happened, just watch this episode. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Possibly, yeah. Just jump in and
yeah,
see a couple, but
just
eventually I'll go back and watch everything.
watch
But
everything. But yeah, there's definitely things that manga readers are going to be like, have to see that animated because it's going to
yeah,
be epic. Um, but yeah, I don't think I'm watching any other anime right now.
no.
I think that's kind of it. It's gonna be, yeah, when Attack on Titan comes back, we'll have that hour special that I can talk about lots, and then really just waiting for Jujutsu Kaisen. I'm excited.
Especially with this being like a bumper season, it's gonna be a lot of fun. Very excited for
Indeed.
this.
Before we talk about any manga, was there any you watched any movies or
No, I watched quite possibly the worst TV series of all time,
okay.
but yeah, it was called Dark Web, but it was like dark slash web. Did
Okay.
you see Midnight Club?
No, but I did know of it.
Well, that's really great.
Okay.
This is basically the bastard love child of Midnight Club and Black Mirror, but terrible.
Okay.
Essentially, it's kind of set in a relatively kind of slightly more advanced than modern era, and it's kind of guy's a bit of a tool. Gets an email one day from like a chick he went to college with, and it's like, oh, here's this story, read it, and he does, and it's super. And then as he's reading the story, it cuts to a little kind of vignette of just like so you see the story is happening, and it's like kind of creepy. It's like a guy does right. He's a driver for a rideshare app, and it's like the person you're driving with, like he's it's a guy there with some woman. It's like he's gonna go up once they're upstairs. He's gonna beat the shit out of her, kill him. It's like no. Eventually he kills a bunch of people, but yeah, that's not the point. it then loops back and it's like, oh yeah, it's like it's dumb. I can't even remember the story. It was just what really annoyed me about it was the modern day stuff was quite good, and the little kind of sub stories, a couple of them were quite good, but it was just all so badly written and so badly acted
Hmm.
that it just completely killed any interest in any of it. But it was all the little sub stories were like, don't trust technology, it can fuck you. Like, it's kind of very Black Mirror esque. If you kind of don't keep control over where the technology is going, eventually it will go wrong. And basically, it ends up with them completely ignoring their own message. And like, it turns out actually the chick they were searching for this whole time isn't missing. She's dead. And she's been dead since before the show started. And this AI that she stole from her company has been the one that's been emailing them, so they can rescue the AI.
Oh.
And they're like, oh, yeah, of course. Why would we not release a completely untested AI onto the internet to do whatever it wants? There's no way technology can go wrong, even though that's literally been the plot of every single story in every single episode. It's like, what is wrong with you people? Fucking idiots. So dumb. So dumb.
Oh man.
I'd forgotten about that. I'm annoyed about it all over again. It was quite possible. Thankfully, the one good thing about it was fucking short.
Hmm.
And there was one episode that was written by, directed by, and starring in the little vignettes, Robin Williams' daughter for some
Oh,
strange reason.
Zelda.
That one was, yeah, that little sub story, really good.
Hmm.
The rest of the show, awful. Awful.
Awful. Oh man.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
a waste of time.
Yeah, I hate when you watch something and it's just like a big old waste of time. Lock
Yeah.
and Key.
Oh god, I actually wrote reviews of season 1 of that for the comic book site I write for, Pop
Mm.
Culture and Comics. Just saying. And up until that point, all my reviews have been really everything I'd read was something I'd really loved, so it was all really positive. And I'd been starting to get a little bit of flack from some people, like, "Do you just love everything?" Like, no, I'm just writing about things that I like. And then I started watching Lock and Key because I was like, yeah, it's Stephen King's kid, it's a good concept. Started watching it, and I was like, fucking hell, this show is dire. Absolutely. So the only thing I liked about it was the actress playing the Shadow Lady. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
good villain.
Dodge
She
or
was fit.
whatever.
I liked her a lot. Rest of the show can fuck right off.
The first season, it was like very much a TV show. Where I'm like, yeah, my mum will love this. So I think we watched it like as a family, and it was like for taking it for like a teenage level horror mystery thing. I was like, oh, we kind of enjoyed it. It was good. The first season kind of builds logically, but then they still do stupid things and it just pisses you off. And then the second season starts and it just was worse. From the very first episode, everything they did was stupid. Like every single action every character took was dumb, like just ridiculously dumb. And it's just like, I can't even. We watched the whole season still, and I don't know why. I don't know if I was hoping it would get better, but it didn't.
Shocker.
And then they're like, it's getting a third season, and then I think now it's been cancelled. So yeah, no, that's the kind of show I don't care it's been cancelled because it was awful.
Yeah, I didn't even bother watching the second season. I'm quite glad that the second season turned out to be awful because I now feel vindicated not watching it.
I was annoyed as well because it had Kevin Durand in it, who you've seen Dark Angel.
Yes.
He plays Joshua, the
Jeff
like
Goldblum.
cat dog person.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
recognize the name. He was good. I like him. He's good people.
yeah, he's good. He's like really tall. He was also in. He played. He was in like the terrible Wolverine X-Men movie, the first like Wolverine one.
X-Men Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he was he was like the Blob or the was it Blob? He's a big
Yeah.
massive dude, and then he
Yeah.
does get like seriously fat, I think. And then he was in that Real Steel movie with Hugh Jackman.
I actually quite liked that film.
That was a
I
good.
thought it had a lot of potential.
I saw that at
Yeah.
cinema. Yeah, he was like the cowboy dude from like the opposing robot team or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a really cool I like him, and he was in this, and it was awful. And I was like, dang. Yeah. Why did I start talking about Lock and Key? Oh, just shows that are terrible. Yes. Yeah, I watched it anyway, but because I just really like the concept. But yeah, everyone was so dumb. I'm like, right, we're in current times. All these kids got smartphones, yeah? They can call and text each other whenever they want. Every time one of them finds a new key, take a picture of the fucking key, send it to your brother and sister in your make a key WhatsApp group. It's encrypted, no one else can see it, right? And just share. Oh, by the way, just found this key. It does this. I've got it on my person. Blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Just call, do whatever. Just keep everyone in the loop. But they don't. They all go off and do their own fucking things. One of them's
Because they're
dating.
idiots.
One of them's dating the enemy. Like it's not totally obvious that he's evil. And they, I mean, yeah, because they threw the wrong person into like the door,
Oh god, yeah, I'd forgotten that.
which was stupid
Oh,
as fuck as well.
dumb. Yeah.
Oh my days. And then they're just like, oh, everything's fine. Well, they're gone now, so we don't have to worry about anything. It's like, no, 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 no. You're in like a magical house with all these magical keys and shit. You worry at all times, okay? Be
Yeah.
on your high alert at all times. Come on.
Channel your inner Moody. Constant vigilance.
It's just yeah, really pissed me off that show. Anyway, it could have been really good, and they
Yeah.
just fucking wrecked it.
They did.
Anyway, a really good show right now is The Last of Us. I haven't watched so I watched last week's episode. I haven't watched this week's because we've been working like Sunday, Monday. Oh yeah, we could have only watched it yesterday's like when it come out. So we're gonna try and watch it tonight or tomorrow night. But yeah, the last episode's really good. Again in the feels, it's all happening. I'm just like on edge. And I don't know why I'm on edge because I've seen people play the game. I know the story of the games. My buzzer's going. Oh, finally get everything working on the show, and now Sean's obviously ordered something off Amazon. And give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You talk about something that you like,
Okay.
and I'll be back.
Because it's literally what I've spent my entire day doing. Randomly, about a week ago, I was on Facebook because I have no life, and I saw they re-released fucking Legend of Dragoon, one of the greatest JRPGs of the PS1 era. So naturally, I fucking immediately bought that. It's like £7 or something. How the fuck could I not? Got that this morning and spent all goddamn morning and afternoon playing it. I had forgotten that game is actually kind of brutal. Like, that game is a lot more difficult than I remember. I don't know if I was just better when I was a kid or I'm just fucking old and worn out now. But yeah, that game is like surprisingly hardcore. Like, they drop you into the game. All right, yeah, great. Jump straight into this dungeon. No, we're not going to give you a chance to rest. No, we're not going to give you a chance to buy any supplies. Just fuck you. Get it done. Fine. I'll fight my way through a dungeon with like 3 healing potions. Kill the boss. Get out. All right, walk through a bit of forest. Oh, what's that? Second dungeon. Still no chance to rest. Still no chance to buy any more potions. To a whole second dungeon, complete with a second boss that spams AoE poison attacks. And then finally, if you can beat both of them, you get a chance to fucking rest and like buy some new potions. Man, we were built of sterner stuff back in the 90s, man. That game is hard.
What game is this?
Legend of Dragoon.
Oh, yeah, my brother just
One
said the first boss is the hardest part, the trap lady. I've not.
like I've got like an hour's play. I'm talking about the warden in that very first jail, the jail you have to break when you're rescuing your best friend who is totally not in love with you, and the spear guy. Like you go through this whole jail cell, fight the kind of the chief warden. He's this absolute unit, keeps summoning new people, and when you kill the people, they explode because fuck you. Fight that. Then you go into this fucking cave. You fight your way through your cave, and there's a giant snake that spits poison at everyone. It's like, chill the fuck out. If I hadn't realized about halfway through the snake fights that when you defend, you defend for a turn, it increases your defense, obviously, but it also heals you for 10% of your total health. If I hadn't realized that, I would have been fucked because I had no health pots by that point. Bad times.
Bad times. I tried to play GoldenEye on the Switch, and the controls don't work. Did I say this last time? Because I was like, someone please help me. I was like, it just doesn't work. And I get that, like, obviously, it's the same as on the, yeah. So like a regular control, but with your N64, you had like the middle bit with an extra stick. You had a stick here, and then over here you had like your 4 yellow buttons. Do you know what I mean? Like the N64 control is just totally different. And you had a trigger either side, and you had the trigger in the middle, which would have been your fire trigger because that's your move and that's your. So it's a regular first-person shooter layout, or should be. You know, one stick moves you around and one stick is looking. But
Yeah.
on the settings, when you just log on to it, like go on to the game, one stick is move. It's like move forward and back, but look left and right. And then the right stick is move right and left, strafe, but look up and down. And I'm like, well, that makes no sense. Why is it
Yeah,
doing?
that's dumb.
Why? And then I was just getting frustrated, and I've gone into the menu, and to change it, the buttons you have to press, I kept pressing the wrong buttons, and it's coming back out, and I'm going back in, and I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to Google this because I'm just getting infuriated at the fact that I can't just play this beloved game from my childhood. Anyway, that was me trying to play GoldenEye on the Switch, and I'm just like, do you know what? It'd be easier for me to just get the N64 out.
Probably, yeah. Can you plug the N64 pad into the Switch?
I don't know if you can get one, or like get a little USB to N64 like adapter, because yeah, that would be easier.
That'd be great.
We've got two of them, but one of them does have a very wiggly like center stick because it's been played to absolute death.
I was going to say, after nigh on a decade, my faithful PS4 pad is starting to die a little bit. The right joystick, it's getting a little bit like, if you just leave it every swap, it'll just be like, oh, I'm going to go to the left. Like, no, bitch, I didn't tell you to the left. I said walk forwards. Like, no, I want to go left. For fuck's sake.
I've been playing
But yeah.
Tetris.
Oh, did you see there's a film coming out about Tetris?
Yeah, I did see that with is it Taron Egerton?
Yes.
Egerton. Yeah, he's cool.
He's a good actor.
He's a good actor. I like him. He just seems like a nice young man. I can say that because I think he's like 23.
I want to see a film with him and Will Poulter. Just like really underrated young British actors. I want to see them doing more things together.
But yeah, it looks like radically crazy. Like Tetris, because it's like in Russia and they're trying to get the game out of Russia. And so it's like a spy action, like adventure thing, but with Tetris, and it looks like they've intertwined like lots of pixelated stuff happening when they're like in the car chase, and it's coming like in and out of video game mode. It looks very just like interesting and wacky. Like it would just be a fun experience, a fun movie, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna go see Ant-Man tomorrow.
Good luck. I've heard it's pretty terrible.
Every single person that's gone to see it has told me that, and I'm talking about like die-hard Marvel fans as well. I'm like, how was it? And they just look at me and go, and you're like, okay, that's all I need. Apparently the first hour's like really tough to get through because I feel like it's just bombardment of information about the quantum realm. I feel like in a fall into the quantum realm, the mum goes, oh yeah, so I didn't tell you about all of this. By the way, there's like a whole like civilization down here, and blah 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 blah, and here's Kang, and blah blah blah, blah, and it'll be like that, and then it'll be like action stuff playing into the next like movies and Loki or whatever. But I like Paul Rudd, and he can get me through this movie.
By all accounts, and to the surprise of literally no one, Jonathan Majors just carries the whole film. Like Kang is amazing, and it just is like he's an A-star villain in a D- movie.
Yeah, I think this is just a port movie, just like a gateway movie to progress stories of elsewhere. And apparently I've heard it's not very funny. It's like trying too hard to be funny, which is crazy. You have Paul Rudd, just put him on a set and let him do his thing.
Yeah. Don't write any jokes. Just then Paul Rudd, just do your thing.
Yeah, do your thing and just let him.
Plot, and in 5 minutes, just run away.
Yeah, but anyway, so next time on the stream, I will do a full review of Ant-Man.
Tear down
the quantum realm. Still have not got around to seeing Puss in Boots, which is like, I don't know why I'm seeing this before I see Puss in Boots, but because
Yeah.
apparently everyone that's seen Puss in Boots has said it's amazing.
But weirdly, it's the lowest grossing Shrek film ever, which surprises me because a few of those Shrek films were fucking stinkers.
Weren't the last like 3 of them straight to DVD? I thought
Yeah.
that like, because for me, like Shrek 1, yes, like absolute classic. Everybody my age can recite the entire movie. Like it's just a thing. And then Shrek 2 was like a solid sequel, and I didn't watch anything after that. That I just didn't.
No, me.
I didn't watch any of the Puss in Boots movies.
No.
I think my
I've
problem
heard
is everyone's like, when they say DreamWorks, they're like, oh, the best DreamWorks movie is Shrek. And it's like, no, you're wrong, because the best DreamWorks movie is The Road to El Dorado, and coming up close second is Sinbad. Like, oh, and some people, obviously, Prince of Egypt is a big popular
that was
one.
a banger.
But for me, Road to El Dorado, Sinbad.
Not sure I've seen Road to El Dorado.
Oh my god. Like, The Road to El Dorado is my pinnacle of trying to get people into animation, because The Road to El Dorado is such 100% movie, and it's the exact movie that if it was live action, it would have been a blockbuster hit. It would be like The Mummy. Everybody would love it. It's like The Mummy level action adventure for adults, but it's a DreamWorks animation, and it's got amazing music in it by Elton John and Randy Newman.
Is that on Disney Plus?
No, because it's DreamWorks.
Oh,
although saying that, they do have. I know they bought. Is it Sony they bought, or whoever did Anastasia they bought out?
yeah.
But yeah, yeah. So where you can watch it, I don't know.
It's one of those films you can probably pick up in CEX for like £1.
100% 50p. It's probably on Amazon or
If I see
something.
it anywhere, I'll pick it up.
It's probably like, even though it's a 15-year-old movie, you got to pay. There you go, Amazon $3.99 on Prime Video. That's not bad. It is 100% worth $3.99. More than that.
Yeah.
I've got it on Divda, so I'm okay. But it's just so brilliant, so funny, and yeah, it is 100% like an adult action adventure movie that just happens to be animated. And I feel like nobody I know has ever seen it or heard of its existence, and that's sad. The next second best is Sinbad, because Sinbad's amazing, and I mean, Sinbad is voiced by Brad Pitt. Like, that's how I feel like confident they were in this movie. Like, Road to El Dorado has Kevin Kline and Kenneth Branagh as like the main two. Yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, that's a surprise. I think this was like late 90s.
This is
release date.
like 2000.
Yeah, late 90s. Like that's peak 90s comedy lead cast there. That's crazy.
And then Sinbad was 2003, so it was like the next film. And yeah, Brad Pitt, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Michelle Pfeiffer does the baddie, and she's like the best villain. She plays like the goddess Eris. So she's like, oh, she's so evil. She's like, you'll fall in love with her instantly. Like, just the best villain ever. It's just such a good. Oh, Joseph Fiennes, yeah, plays the like his friend. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, he's really. Honestly, like the voiceover work and the and it's Sinbad. Like, you know, if you grew up like me, watching the really old, you know, stop motion and old like Sinbad like movies,
the old Ray Harryhausen stuff.
Yeah, but there's no, and the music in Sinbad, like the score is so unbelievably amazing. Like, honestly, if you have not watched Road to El Dorado or Sinbad, before you watch any other movies,
I saw Sinbad, but years ago. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen Road to El Dorado, so I will definitely check that out.
Sinbad has a famous moment where there's like a sea monster. This is right at the beginning of the movie. Sea monster like taking over the ship. They're all fighting. This one dude on the crew like runs at it. It picks him up. It like eats him, and then it like spits him back out, and then spits his sword back out, and he's on the floor like this, and then he grabs his sword and he runs back at it like full pelt, like and Sinbad just looks over and goes, "Give that guy a raise," and it's And that's like, just one of the absolute best quotes and like best things. But yeah, Road to El Dorado is like special place in my heart. One of my all-time favorite movies. Like just 100% up there in my top 10. Easy. Like, and when people say like, "Oh, what's your favorite animation?" Like that above all Disney movies. Like hands down. Even though I love, a lot of Disney movies. Road to El Dorado. Like if I had to pick an animation, you can only watch one animated film for the rest of your life. It's gonna be the Road to El Dorado, which is
Not
a
sure I can
DreamWorks
answer that.
movie.
Yeah.
DreamWorks, crazy.
It definitely wouldn't be a Disney film. I'll just put it at that. Leaning towards something like Summer Wars
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
or Wolf Children. That's some good flicks.
Good flicks. Um, that was a tangent.
A little bit, yeah, but good. Fine. Oh,
um,
before we get back onto anything serious, but just 'cause that just reminded me, fucking Mando's back like tomorrow.
tomorrow, yes, it is.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. And it looks very action packed, and it looks less. Oh, I have a baby with me thing. Although I saw a clip
Yeah.
of him going back to. This wasn't a dream.
Are you sure?
I don't know. Was it a skit? I can't tell if I watched a clip of the new season or if it was like an SNL skit with Pedro Pascal because he was on that like a couple weeks ago.
It was.
Where they're like, "Why have you still got the baby? Didn't you take the baby home? Wasn't that your mission? Like, why is the baby still with you? Like, you took it there and then you took it back. Like,
See, there's kind of this is why I'm a little bit not quite as excited for Mando as I probably should be. Like, I genuinely can't tell because that does sound like the kind of thing SNL would do a skit about.
but
But
also
at
I
the
feel
same time,
like
it's like they may genuinely have to put a scene like that in just so he can explain to people that haven't watched Book of Boba Fett why the super emotional climax of season 2 was him giving Grogu up, and then season 3, episode 1, the fucker's back straight away without even missing a beat.
yeah, who's the guy that was in Rocky? I've forgotten his character name and his real
Cole,
name.
Cole Winters, Cole
Yeah,
Weathers.
I think he goes back to him because he's like leading that town now, isn't he? Um,
Yeah,
and he's like,
brief saga.
"What's with the baby? Didn't you give him back to his people?" And he's like, "Yeah, but he didn't want to be there. I took him back." Like this is, I just want him to be like, "I am his people. This is our people. This is us now."
The choice has been made now. He is a Mando.
It's 100% an actual real clip. Yeah, I'm sure they had that conversation, and then he says, "And then I took off my helmet and disgraced, like, got disgraced from my race, and now we're trying to find Mandalore." And then all the action goes.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just hoping for less Mandalorian nostalgia for the 2 seasons of Mandalorian that we have only just watched. And that it's more just, here's our characters, here's our world. Yes, we know it's Star Wars. I know it's Star Wars. But can we just have the show that I'm watching and not be constantly reminded of all the shit that's happened already and the fact that we're watching a Star Wars show? Because I know I'm watching a Star Wars show and I'm trying my best to enjoy all the awesome Star Wars content without being constantly told this was in Star Wars. Like, do you know what I mean? That's what's bugging me. Like, I like a nostalgia hit, but done right and not just shoved down my throat, like, for the sake of it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Agreed.
that's my. I'm hoping to enjoy this, especially with, like, Bo Katan, and I think Ahsoka is going to show up. I don't know.
I kind of hope she doesn't because, like, she was there in the second season.
Getting
That
her
was
own
great.
thing,
But
isn't
then,
she?
yeah, she's getting her own season, and like Star Wars Tales of the Jedi was like 60% Ahsoka. Like,
So
I'm
it's
kind of a little bit done with Ahsoka.
Bo Katan and, Siban Ren. Is that her name? The one that we
Sabine, yeah,
Sabine Wren. She's gonna
yeah,
show up, maybe. I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be the new
yeah. I'm
character.
just hoping for a really kind of deep look into like
Mandalore.
Mandalorian lore and history and culture. I want the Mandalorian to actually be about the Mandalorian for once, not I'm a Mandalorian who happens to be looking after an adorable merchandising opportunity.
Well, Grogu seems to be like in this clip that I definitely didn't dream and wasn't on SNL. He's like sitting in the chair, just like spinning himself around, picking up things, doing whatever. So he seems to have a pretty strong grasp on his abilities now, and he's
Good, good.
actually just going to be like a cool little sidekick and be
Okay, I'm
helpful
down with that.
because Mando's always getting himself nearly killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
Wait.
really like to see him just kicking butt without being needed to be saved. So he's making
Yeah.
like silly cock ups and needing saving. So we'll see.
I'm a little bit worried though, just because obviously, like it's airs tomorrow, so they're really pushing the kind of promotional material. Like the guy that writes it all, that who created it all, not Feige, the other one.
Jon Favreau.
Thank you. Favreau has been doing loads of interviews, and it was going on like I was like, oh yeah, there's no kind of. I have no plans to end the series anytime soon. Like, there's not some big story beat we're building up to. We're just kind of making it up as we go along. And when he said that, I was like, "Oh, gonna stop you there, my friend. Like, a story needs an end. You can't just trot out 10 seasons of Din walking about with an increasingly older, more annoyed Grogu, like being a moody teenager. Like, no one wants to see that. We don't want 17 million seasons of this. Just give us like 5 solid seasons with a good through arc, and then fuck off, please. But I have a distinct suspicion he's just going to keep making more or less self-contained seasons until the viewership drops to the point that he cancels it, and that worries me.
I think, unfortunately, because it's such a moneymaker in merch,
Yeah.
like when we went to Disney World, every single shop, had Grogu merch everywhere. And it wasn't even good stuff. I got one good thing, which was like the old style toys, little plushes that were like different, and it was like they've been made in the universe, like that was the best thing. Everything else was like generic merch with just lots of little Grogu's all over it, or yeah. And there was no other like Mandalorian merch that was like cool. It was just all Grogu stuff.
I want a motherfucking dark saber. I don't give a shit about plushy Grogu.
Oh, you can get a dark saber. It'll just cost you a lot of money and not look particularly great.
I want a
Yeah.
good dark saber.
So I think, unfortunately, it's a show that they'll just keep milking to make money.
Sad times.
It's
Oh well.
Who was it said? It was Star Wars, wasn't it? Was it Samuel Jackson or somebody else was like asked if they'd go back, and they were like, no, I wouldn't do any more because it's just too diluted now. It's just like the whole Star Wars universe. It's just, there's too much of it. Or am I thinking Marvel? No, I'm sure it was Star
No,
Wars.
it was Star Wars, and it wasn't him. I
No.
know. I remember seeing that quote and it getting massively blown out of proportions. But yeah, it was someone. It was someone weird. It wasn't one of the main actors. I think it was like, yeah, it was someone bizarre that you wouldn't really expect to even have an opinion on the situation, but they did.
But yeah, I mean, I think it is a worry with like the TV show, same as the Marvel. There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff happening, and it's just a quality thing. So like, I'm intrigued to see what the new Daredevil will be like.
I'm cautiously optimistic about that because apparently it's being written by the Molyneux, whatever how you pronounce that surname, who wrote a lot of Bob's Burgers, and I fucking love Bob's Burgers. So if they can put half as much kind of laughs, but also feels into Deadpool as they put into Bob's Burgers, we're in for a fucking treat.
It will be cool, hopefully.
Yeah, and it's been confirmed that it's going to be like a hard R. It's going to be the MCU's first like proper R-rated flick. So
Yeah,
2 thumbs up for that.
we can hope for the best. Yeah, but I don't think I've watched anything else just like TV and movie wise. Other than obviously I'm still watching The Connors. We're nearly at the end of Malcolm in the Middle, which is definitely slowly running out of steam and
Yeah.
funniness.
Yeah. What
Only
season
this
are you on?
past season 7.
Oh, okay.
So the last one. So the season 6 was like kind of okay, but you can feel it kind of like, winding down. Season 7 is definitely like we're putting it on and then we're just kind of getting distracted. It's not like holding our attention. Um
That's a bad sign.
Still got funny moments, but it's just not like laugh out loud funny and just like holding our attention like the early seasons. Um yeah. And then yeah, I don't think I've got anything else but manga, which
I'm about halfway through season 4 of Malcolm in the Middle, and it's really just struck me what was kind of throwing me slightly with this show. So Malcolm is a massive wang. Like, he's not a good person. I don't like him as a character.
I think the thing
He's
is,
an absolute toolbag, and I don't like him.
when I was younger, I always liked him because he's smart,
Hmm.
but he's actually really stupid. Like his book's smart, but he's dumb, isn't he? Because like I don't know, just growing up with his brothers and they're all just kind of stupid. Um, and yeah, he is, and they do mention it in the show a lot. He's like self-centered, and he thinks, he just doesn't see past what he's seeing. They're terrible to their parents, like
So
really
terrible.
terrible. You think by the time they're like 15, 16, they'd be like a lot of teenagers kind of understand where their parents are coming from and why they tell them they can't do the things they do, and it's not like, oh, I hate you. It's not, it's like more level-headed because you're like an adult or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Francis is also kind of a dick. I don't really like
Yeah,
anytime it cuts to his storyline, I just kind of fade out. Like, it was vaguely interesting when he was at military school because the like commandant, whatever it was called, was kind of funny. Then there was like a whole season when he was
in
in
Alaska.
Canada or Alaska, yeah, and that was
Yeah, that wasn't great.
very much there. And now he's at that
The
ranch, and it's
ranch.
like, okay, I get that he's got a funny boss with an accent, and but like, why? He's a dickhead, and everything he does is stupid, and I don't like his wife.
Yeah, I kept thinking to myself, like, do we need this part of the show? Surely you could fill this 5 minutes, like, with the stuff that I'm already watching. Like, I feel like
Yeah,
it's funny enough, so I don't need it. Like, yeah, I never thought we needed Francis other than when he visits home. Like, just have
yeah.
him visit every now and then, it's fine. Um, or, like, I don't know, you should have just had
Have
him
him not
from
be.
home. Yeah, but like if you wanted him in the show and it's like he's been promised a certain amount of screen
Yeah,
time or whatever, just have him at home still, or he lives around the corner, or he's just I don't know, just was actually quite good and went to college. Like you don't have to be smart to get into college. You can get into like community college and just like I don't know they've got no money and stuff, but I don't know. Just yeah, there could have been something else for him to be there and it be more because he's good. Um, like he's an alright actor. So
yeah.
but
It's just he's kind of a dickhead character.
yeah, but again,
Well,
they kind of all are. Apart
yeah,
from Dewey, Dewey's the only one that actually kind of helps the parents out. Is smart on like a street level and a book level, and yeah, he's just generally an okay. Like he's probably
he's
actually the best of them. Yeah.
he's their one hope. Oh, I saw the episode with a young Hayden Panettiere who shows up as their babysitter
Yeah,
and
she's in
just
it
has them
more.
all
Yeah,
wrapped around her little finger. Very funny.
she's yeah, she's quite good actually. She's in more like this last season. She's in it quite a lot.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
But yeah, and then, if you want to see any more of her, you can watch her getting her brain cut out in Heroes. And then
I went through that once. That's all. I'm not
I,
going back.
I love
The show
Heroes.
was
I got
the
my
first
hero
season is amazing.
I got my Heroes shelf. Got my magazines, my graphic novels, my all
Yeah.
4 seasons of Heroes. Um
It was only 4 seasons.
yeah, 4 seasons. So you got like season 1, which is like obviously the
Good
epic
one.
22, 24 episode like ends with the big fight with the Siler getting hit in the face with a traffic what's it called, parking meter.
Good night.
Uh, season 2 was during the writer's strike, so it's only like 14 episodes or something, and it's when Sylar like is off in like Mexico or wherever. And then they kind of join, and you've got like the Doctor doing weird shit, and it's all just weird. Season 3 is like watching EastEnders, because the portrayals are like, you're our son, you're not our son, you're our son. Silas trying to be a good person, and he's like doing good stuff, working with Noah and doing whatever, and then they mess him up royally because he's unstable, and he gets totally screwed over. Then season 4 is a carnival, which is really actually a very good season.
It's got that the great actor playing the sort of main villain.
Yeah, and I
That's
can't remember his name, but
yeah.
he's really good. Plays
Yeah.
Sam, who like the leader of the carnival. I think he's called Sam. I'm riffing. He's in season 1 of Stargate. Is he the guy in the season 1 Stargate universe? Yeah. Have you watched Stargate Universe? It's got Robert Carlyle in it, and he's
Yeah,
fantastic.
It came out kind of when Battlestar Galactica was on like season 2 or 3, and it just seemed like a Wish.com Galactica, so I didn't bother because I fucking love Battlestar Galactica.
I've seen little bits of Galactica because Sean likes it, but I'm just kind of like, I never got into it. And like Stargate Universe is 2 seasons, and it's so good. It's just, yeah, I really like it. And Robert Carlyle was fantastic.
It's worth watching Galactica just for the soundtrack, which is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I've heard that about that. I've heard that about that. Have you watched Jeremy Clarkson's Farm?
Huh?
Have you watched Jeremy Clarkson's Farm?
No, but I've heard it's kind of not as terrible as you think it would be.
We watched the first season like 3 years ago, whenever it was, and it's hilarious. And then we watched this. I watched this season. Yeah, it's funny. It is just funny. Like it's intriguing. Even if like you're not really a big fan of his, it's intriguing to find out things about farming, like in the UK, and just like how farmers have to go about things and do things, and you're like, wow, this is a lot of work. And yeah, and then obviously, if you're a fan of Jeremy Clarkson's, like I both find him hilarious and think he's great, and then also like questionable things come out of his mouth, and I'm like, oh, Jeremy.
Yeah, it's like you're laughing at him more than you're laughing with him. Like he is, it's like watching a dinosaur hosting a TV show. He's so complete. His time has gone.
But
He is not fit for TV anymore. But he's so funny.
But Caleb, doesn't play anybody, plays himself because he's just fun. Right, Caleb, who is like his number 2, he's the farmer that's actually been looking after the farm the whole time before Jeremy Clarkson's like, I'm going to give it a go. He's young. He, born and lived like his whole life on this farm. He like doesn't travel out to anywhere. He doesn't have any worldly knowledge or like book smarts, I guess. But he's just so brilliant, and when it comes to farming, he's just an absolute expert. He knows everything. He's like super hardworking, and he's just like a really nice chappy. And it's just, yeah, he's the star of the show. I know it's Jeremy Clarkson's, but Caleb is the star of the show. Like, if Jeremy Clarkson wasn't there and it was just a show about following Caleb around day to day, watching him do his farming and saying some funny stuff, like, I'd still watch that show. But yeah, it's a quick watch. It's only like 6 episodes or whatever, 7 episodes maybe. Unlike the other people that like
That was longer.
Do actually all of the work. I mean, Jeremy Clarkson does do the work, but he is old and he's doesn't actually know what he's doing, but he's learning and he's trying his best. And it's interesting to see how much the people in his village hate him, like, because he cannot get planning permission for anything, even though anybody else would totally get planning permission, because people just hate him because of who he is, like, and it's like he gets blocked at every single turn. And it's it's crazy to see like how much time people take out of their lives to stop something that actually won't impact them in the slightest. It's hilarious. It's like, yep, that's the British way.
It
is. Crazy people. Anyway, yeah, I was like, no, I haven't watched any other TV, but yeah, we watched that. That is other stuff that I've been trying to get around to watching, like real life stuff.
I've been watching all the Mission Impossible films. They're
Why
awful.
for? Yeah, I can
I have
imagine.
they dropped all of them on Prime, and I was like, well, fuck it. That's six. That's like 5, 6 films. I'll work my way through them. They are genuinely. But the thing that is weirdest about all of them is that literally every film is just a completely new film. Like the first film, Ethan's there, Tom Cruise. Then it's like this really kind of relatively quiet, quite super tense spy thriller. Like there's very little action
Hmm.
and lots of like, but really did he not know that actually exists? Like the last fight is just him putting on some fucking glasses, like, surprise bitches, you're on TV, we win the day. And the second one is just peak early aughts bullshit. It's like the whole soundtrack is fucking Limp Bizkit. Everyone has inexplicably long hair and wears Oakley sunglasses. There's a motorcycle fight. It's insane. Like it's just there's very little storyline. There's just cars, ladies, fights, explosions, bikes, Limp Bizkit. It's over.
Limp Bizkit. I think that's the only one I've seen a little bit of because of like the time that it came out, but I can't remember it at all. But I think my brother had it on like
It's all good.
VHS or something because everybody did.
The
But
soundtrack was a banger as well.
I think I saw Ghost Protocol at cinema when I was like 20 or 21, whenever it come out.
Possibly.
But I didn't enjoy that. I thought it was kind of long. It had Simon Pegg in it. There was that one bit in the hallway where he like puts up a projection screen so that, and they just slowly go towards the security guards at the desk, and it's like projecting the image of the hallway as opposed to and they're hiding behind it. That's the only bit of the movie I remember with
Fair enough.
Simon Pegg.
I I haven't reached Ghost Protocol yet, so I'll
Oh,
let you know what I think.
that
The last one I watched
happens.
was Ghost Protocol 3, which was kind of like halfway between the two. That they were trying to be a serious sort of spy thing, but then there was like just inexplicable explosions and Tom Cruise's third girlfriend in 3 films, and he's gotten like 5 years older with each film, but his girlfriends have stayed roughly the same age, and it's dumb, and I hate them. But
Yeah, they're not my thing. I'm not even like, yeah, I'm never going to sit and watch all the Mission Impossibles. I'll listen to Limp Bizkit, but that's about as far as I go.
$3 bill, great album. Yeah,
Um,
no, I'll probably keep watching them because like there's only about 2 or 3 left, and I want to see the one with Henry Cavill in. But
I'm
also at the same time, apparently they're being taken off Prime quite soon. So if I haven't
quick.
finished, nah, I don't give enough of a shit. If they get taken off, I'll start watching them. If I watch all of them before it gets taken off, I'll finish them. But I don't give enough of a shit to like hunt them down. To Ethan hunt them down.
If you will happily sit and watch all of the Mission Impossible movies, I bet you're really excited to go see Fast and Furious X or 10 or whatever it's called.
Here's the thing. A while back, I saw, I think it was like 6 or 7 of the Fast and Furious films, and they're all fucking same. The one that introduces Natalie Emmanuel, who was the reason I watched the film, because I love her. And it was pretty good. I was like, that's actually not a bad flick. Like, credit where it's due. Driving sequences are obviously on point. The fight sequences were surprisingly well choreographed. There was a lot of Natalie Emmanuel. I have no complaints. And then I was like, oh, they've got all the Fast and Furious films on Prime. Maybe I should watch all of them. I shouldn't have watched all of them. They're terrible. Like the first one is just about bearable. The second one is the first one, but with half the budget. The third
Yes.
one, for no reason, is in Japan
Yeah.
and is then forgotten. And then they just get increasingly more and more ridiculous until The Rock shows up and is just constantly sweating. And then it's over. And I have no idea why I watched all of them, but I did.
Yeah, I feel like I've never watched Tokyo Drift. I've seen the first one and the second one, and I used to watch them fairly often when I was like 11. And then never watched Tokyo Drift. No idea which one's next, but I went to see at cinema that I think the first one that's got The Rock in it, whatever number that is. And then I think I missed the next one, but then I went to the cinema to see because we just like met friends in London when we went to see whichever number it was that also had. I think it might have been the first one that had like Charlize Theron in it as well as like the
Yeah,
baddie.
I think
Had like
I saw that one
Hobbs.
as well.
I don't. Was
Yeah,
Jason Statham in it at this point? I can't even remember who
I think
was in
so.
it. But
I
yeah,
think so.
and it had like the longest ever. Was that which
With the
one was the one?
plane
The
taking off,
plane.
it's
Oh my
back being on
god.
the runway for like 45
The
minutes.
runway goes around the
Yeah,
entire world. Like it just
yeah,
um
that was so stupid.
and there was like the friend we was with was just counting how many times he said family. Family.
500,000.
Um
Literally every other word. It's the dumbest franchise of all time.
and
I
like
still haven't seen the latest one.
and like his girlfriend was back but she'd been like brainwashed. And
Yeah.
it's like, what the fuck, why? So far-fetched, aren't they? But the driving in them and the shit that they do with the cars is really cool. Like if you like cars, it's like, yeah, sure, but the over the top drama is just insane. um but yeah, I mean, I can't even Jason Momoa's in this new one,
Yeah.
and I'm
He's a
like
weird. I can never really tell if I like Jason Momoa or not.
I like Stargate Atlantis, Jason Momoa. He's awesome. And he seems
Fair
just
enough.
like a chill dude, like in real
Yeah.
life. But his acting is,
Not good.
at that mid 5
Yeah.
level of just, yeah, you can enjoy watching him, but is he really acting? I don't know. He's just there.
Yeah.
But,
So when he's at the kind of Aquaman, like the actual Aquaman film, terrible. Aquaman in films where he just has to kind of put in a quip every fifth line or so, and the rest of the time someone else is talking. Better, much better. Like he was all right in Dune because all he really does is show up and
look
fight a bit
badass.
and then fuck off. Like that is his kind of that's his level. He is not a leading man. He's the funny action guy that shows up, punches someone, smolders a bit, quips, and then fucks off.
We
Yeah.
just watched, because my brother and my mum found out it existed, was a Jackass special of Family Feud, like in America. So, so we watched that yesterday. It's on YouTube, and yeah, it's funny. And then my mum's going like, "Oh, it makes me want to watch that film because she loves Johnny Knoxville. Like, I mean, he's gorgeous. Come on." And I was like, "Oh, the Arnold Schwarzenegger one, The Last Stand," because it's legitimately like a good movie. If you haven't watched it, honestly, as like a subpar action adventure movie, it's not an adventure movie. It's just an action movie. With Arnold Schwarzenegger, Johnny Knoxville, a couple other cool people. It's like an alright movie. It's like kind of crazy, but it's good. And she's like, yeah, it's really good. I watch it all the time. I'm like, yeah. And Johnny Knoxville's actually an alright actor. Like, he's mental in that movie, which he's mental in real life. But then I'm just going through like all of the movies that like he's done, and yeah, I was like, we're like, yeah, if you want to watch him, he's like, why don't you watch Men in Black 2? She's like, oh, is he in Men in Black? And I'm like, yeah, the second one. There's two of him, kinda. He's got two heads or whatever. I was like, but don't watch it. It's terrible. Like,
Yeah.
it's absolutely awful. Don't watch that film. Actually, I don't think I can stomach to watch anything with Will Smith in it anymore because he's just ruined everything.
Even Independence Day.
I've never been a fan of Independence Day because growing up, it was the movie where I'm like, Mum, do you want to watch a movie? And she's like, yeah, let's watch Independence Day. And I'm like, no, I don't want to watch it. I never really liked it.
Fair enough.
I tried to watch it again when I was a little bit older because it's got Adam Baldwin in it. In the bit where they have, he's like one of the officers, like the naval or army officers, when they get it in the room and it starts killing, I don't know, something happens and he's there anyway.
Fair enough.
And I remember the bit where he's just like, Will Smith's like dragging the alien along the desert and he like punches it. And yeah, and I really like Bill Pullman.
I can't remember if it's Pullman or Paxton.
Is it?
One of the Bills.
Or then I think like Paul Newman. No, Bill Paul. I think it's Bill Pullman from Casper, you know?
Yeah, I think there's Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton. I always get them mixed up. Independence Day is Bill Pullman. Bill Paxton is like Aliens and Terminator. He's the one that says like, "We're gonna die, man. Game over."
Oh, okay. Right.
They were
Um,
around in a similar era, but play very different characters.
I don't
Yeah.
think I think the only thing that's gonna bug me with the Will Smith situation is although it's not, I don't know if it's gonna be good or not, but they're making the I Am Legend sequel with the
Yeah.
American ending where he doesn't die. Because yeah, in the English release, cinematic release, and DVD release, unless you watch the alternate ending, which how many people actually sit like how many regular people sit and watch the alternate endings? Nobody. They
I
don't know.
was gonna say,
They
I
don't know
do,
it
but
exists. But like you're not a regular person, Ty. Come on.
no,
That.
God, I am thoroughly irregular.
um, they're just like, oh, didn't he die? Like, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want real life people to affect the movies that I like and the things, but there are some things that people do, and I just don't want to watch them anymore because just seeing their face is going to infuriate me, and I'm just like, don't want to give them money, like when
Fair
they're
enough.
like, but anyway, should we talk manga?
Yes.
um, have you got anything manga wise you want to talk about that isn't My Hero Academia or Jujutsu Kaisen?
Oh, yeah, I briefly want to remind everyone that Sakamoto Days is fucking fantastic and they need to read it because A, it's fucking brilliant. B, the current manga arc is they're doing a bit of a flashback arc, which is always good, but it feels like it's building up. It's kind of going to explain the villain's motivations that will then set up what is probably going to be the final arc, which will be the next big arc. And I want more people to read it because they still haven't said whether or not it's getting an anime. And by this point, it's starting to look like it's not going to get an anime. But I really fucking want it to get an anime because it's a great fucking series, and more people need to watch it and need to read it and need to engage with it because it deserves to be so much more popular than it actually is. And yeah, I love a good flashback arc. Sorry, as I said before when we were talking about Trigun, like a well placed flashback arc, always great. And this one is setting up to be a really fucking good one because they revealed the big villain's identity. It's like, oh shit, it's a big person. And it's like, but is there maybe something more going on with them? And now it's a flashback arc. Like, I think there's something more going on with them, and we're about to find out why. And it's gonna be the shit because this series is fucking awesome.
Awesome.
That's it.
I was just looking and I thought that we only had one chapter of My Hero to talk about, but we actually have two, so that's
Oh
good.
yeah.
I will just mention I'm reading Dragon Ball Super, and there's another chapter this weekend, and it's still we're still having fun with Trunks and Goten, and yeah, stuff's happening, and I think this has been like the end-ish of it, and it will now go into whatever's gonna happen.
Or will it?
Or will it? I don't know. I don't mind. I like my brother's
Trunks
like
forever.
ugh, more of this crap. And I'm just like, oh, I'm enjoying it. It's nice because like if it wasn't this, we're just gonna be seeing Vegeta and Goku training or do you know what I mean? Just more of the same.
That's all anyone wants from Dragon Ball. Just Goku and Vegeta increasingly getting stronger and stronger and one upping each other, and then until they eventually just fucking get it over with.
Oh, I like I like seeing the next generation. They're they're nice. They're nice young kids. They want to be heroes and they're like training and they're working hard and they're
Dragon Ball
just
My Hero crossover incoming.
they're like the Spider-Man of the because they're just doing like neighborhood level stuff, just like trying to clean up the town and make sure there's no crime and stuff. And it's nice. It's very admirable. They're nice young
Indeed.
men. And I like the clean art style of like the Dragon Ball Super. I get that it's like not the original that everybody likes, a bit more like rough and tough and the characters, but I like it. It's fine. Um yes. Then we read My Hero Academia. Yeah, I
Here we go.
totally forgot that we had this chapter, which has like so many screenshotable moments. I literally like in my group saw the screen capture of like Dark Shadow of
So good.
you know, with his like goofy cartoon face. The
Oh.
oh
It
I
was that after
can
after
I show this? I'll be like
yeah. That's good shit. I've got to say, like, that slightly took me out of the series, but at the same time, I was like, I don't even care. That was just fucking hilarious. Like, full on eye bulge. Too funny.
Anyway, we start the chapter. Let me give a little warning. Not that anyone's here right now, but if you're gonna watch along, you know, on YouTube, you want to know what we're talking about. If you were to like skip along or whatever. We are at Gentle still holding up the school with a thing, and
Come on.
he's waning. He's like, "Shit, I'm done. I'm out for the count." Um, because no one's there to see, and he's a social media man. You know, he's there for the show. And then the social
Good
media kids
crap.
show up, and they're like, "We have to document this because nobody documented the fight between Endeavor and like the first fight between Shigaraki and Endeavor and Deku and that." And because of that, society started hating on the heroes. Whereas if they had had an insight to everything that was going on, that they wouldn't have like taken such a hard view of the heroes, and society wouldn't have like
Indeed.
rotted itself apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's happening. Twices are still like freaking everywhere. Kuroguri's still there. Aizawa and Mike getting like separated and fucked up.
Not good.
It's really not good. There's no good happening.
Yeah.
No good is happening. And then we cut, yeah, we get the total madness. And this is like, what? What am I reading? What's happening? So we get All for One. We're with All for One. And Hawks is like going after him. And we're worried. And then All for One blasts him. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Hawks has just lost an arm. And then I look even closer and I was like, oh fuck, both his legs are off too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hawks has lost the entire lower 25% of his body.
I'm like, oh man, they just totally killed Hawks. This is
Yep.
big shit. You see, did I say Dark Knight? What is his
No, Dark
name?
Shadow.
Dark Shadow. My god. That is what I said earlier.
Yeah.
Dark Shadow's actual face looking like totally shocked, like fuck. And then it cuts in, Hawks looks all like dreamy and like with
Yeah.
flowers. And I'm like,
That was really weird.
what is happening? Then he like drifts away, and then we get the total eye bulge cartoon Dark Shadow, which is hilarious. And then it cuts to oh yeah, the girl that trying to decipher what she's saying. Totes an illusion for reals. That's how I imagine she's talking anyway. If
Yeah.
I'd been a Scotch later, you would have unveiled that. Yeah, and then yeah, you were saying about it's got all like the deciphering, like everything she said is like asterisked and then like
Yeah.
deciphered down the side because she just talks in absolute garbage. Anyway, here we have the people from the other school, yay! And they're here to save the day. Windman and Fingerman.
Because I know Cammy is illusions, and obviously Wind Guy is Wind Guy. But I was really struggling to remember who that third guy was. Like, I know he's kind of part of was it like Shigetsu or whatever they're called, Shingetsu. He's like
Yeah.
that's like their big three. But it's like, yeah, I'm really struggling to remember what his quirk is and why we should give a shit about him.
Well, I was trying to remember if he's the dude, you know, the one that like turns people into like mush balls. When they're doing
Maybe.
like the battles, or whether that's someone from Class B. I'm trying to remember whether it was a Class B battle or whether it was this. Like Bakugo, Red Riot, they all kind of get caught up and like turned into little mush flesh balls, and then
Yeah, that was against Shigetsu because the battle against Class B, they all got yeeted out like 5 seconds into the battle. And it was
so I don't know if
done.
that's him and that's what he can do. He can like meld, or if this is a different person. But you know, sometimes you forget. But it's all about the wind guy, really. That's who we're
Yeah,
here for because you know he's best buddies with Shoto now. um,
apparently.
apparently, after that whole ordeal. at the we're talking way back at the freaking hero licensing.
Oh god, yeah, that was a fun arc.
But yeah, Wind Dude's pretty awesome. He's like
Yeah.
I'm the one that controls the wind. You old bastard. um and yeah, everyone's clubbing back together. It's all becoming like we need to make sure that Twice is being controlled. Well, Toga's Twice, because that's where we're gonna get like pushed down. It's showing a bit of everybody. We're really like getting into it now. And then we get like the biggest fucking awesome thing ever with Dark Shadow.
So that last panel, man, it's not quite as good as the Deku versus Shigaraki panel from a few weeks back,
Right, yeah.
but it's like I think this is it's quite clear this is Dark Shadow's plus ultra moment. This is his, if you kind of pardon the pun, his time to shine.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna do some cool shit,
Hawks
and
is
I'm
just like crush him, and he's just giving him everything. Cause it's like,
I'm
oh, he's
100%
his
here for it.
mentor, and he's like, pushing him, and he's gonna get. Yeah, I hope that this does. I feel like he has to finish him off now, right? I feel
Yeah,
like All for One has
yeah,
to be just fucking done.
yeah,
Because the whole thing is like, well, if you can't touch someone and steal their quirk, and like, what is he meant to do against a literal shadow?
yeah.
Like, he's fucked.
Can't steal what you can't touch, fool. All for fuck you.
So yeah, really, really good couple chapters
Yeah,
after like a 3 week break.
worth the wait.
Yeah, we've it's good because we keep being worried that it's gonna like cut back and to something not as interesting or I don't know.
I feel like we're in it to the end now.
Yeah,
There's not going to
hopefully.
be any cutting away. There's just going to be all killer, no filler.
Or killing
Hopefully,
it.
literally, some people die.
We have only had one chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen,
It was a good chapter, though, so that's fine.
but it's a bloody good chapter because we got left off with Megumi is now Sukuna, and Sukuna went to the angel. Well, the angel went to Sukuna like a freaking idiot, and yeah, he has bit out chunk of her. Well, bit off her arm essentially, just chomped down on her shoulder.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom nom. Yeeted her across the fucking building. Yeah, and in the last chapter, we had already seen him like punch Yuji through a building, like across the block, and you're like, well, he's fucking dead, or we've been having the discussion of like, I'm like, do you know what? Is he really still super powerful? Has a lot of cursed energy, because he is a cursed womb or whatever. And then in the next page, he's just standing there, and you're like, oh, Yuji's fine. He's just standing.
Motherfucker. Yeah.
He's tough, yeah. And he jumps back into the fight. He's obviously mad as fuck because like Sukuna's taken over his friend's body, and we get a kick-ass Yuji Sukuna Megumi fight.
A proper throwdown. It was awesome, man. They were like, there was no holds barred. They were thrashing the shit out of each other. It was good stuff.
And Sukuna's just like, what is this strength? Why is this dude so powerful? They continue fighting. Still like, why is he so powerful? Then he starts cutting him to shreds. And then it ends with, again, he's like, why are you so tough?
Wait.
And then he's like, hang on a minute. It's not your curse energy that's high. It's my curse energy output that's low. And he's like, damn you, Megumi Fushiguro. Boy done him dirty. But
Yep. Fucking behind the scenes.
So
not as in control as he thinks he is.
Having Sukuna like take over this body, thinking, yes, I'm gonna like have it all now, and Yuji, who has no cursed ability, just fucking pounding him like crazy. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Shit. Yeah.
I never know what's gonna happen, but it's always good.
Like this series has gone so bizarre. Like you can never tell what weird shit they're gonna throw at you from week to week. Like, so that's one of the reasons why I like it. Like one of the most unpredictable series I've read in quite a while. So I'm absolutely here for it.
It's literally like, it's the best. And it has no downtime. It's just like, go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And well, I feel like once, well, this little fight's going, and then it will cut back to some Kenjaku,
Yeah, hopefully.
because he's just like, oh, you hit me with a black hole, psh, whatever. Took down Tengen or whatever, I guess, killed Tengen, and then hopefully, well, because what I was expecting was happen after Yuji got punched through a building, is that his brother would show up again. Like Choso would join this side of the fight and be like, brother, I'm here to help you. I don't know. I love Choso. More Choso. More Choso, please.
Yeah. You would be happy if this was just an entire series of Choso, wouldn't you?
If it's just an entire season. If it's just like after this ends and Choso's just like living his normal human life now, just that, I'd watch that. Yeah. It's a Choso life. Just like Choso life. Yeah. Like choose life, but Choso. Yeah, just a day in the life type slice of life thing. With Choso figuring out what life as a human is like. Just him getting up in the morning, trying to make a cup of coffee. How does a toaster work? You know, oh, I've got to get a job.
It reminds me of something funny I saw the other day. If you were to rename classic anime as if they were modern day stupidly titled isekai, what would you call them? Like how all the new shows have got like 3 sentence long titles.
Yeah.
How would you rename like classic anime series to kind of bring them into line with this modern? Like what would you rename Jujutsu Kaisen to give it a ridiculous like 3 sentence long isekai title?
Have you already thought about an answer to this?
I have one, yeah.
Yeah, go on, go with yours. My brain's thinking.
It's the time I tried to save my brother's life with a stone made of murder.
Is supposed to be like Full
Full
Metal.
Metal
Yeah.
Alchemist Brotherhood.
Yeah, what would Jujutsu Kaisen be?
Something like kind of the time I swallowed a demon lord's finger
I
and he
was
tried to
going
take
for
over
the
my life
finger
or
thing,
something.
yeah. I was
Yeah.
thinking, would you say that time I swallowed a demon lord's finger, or would it be like
Help!
you
I
know
swallowed
that
a
thing
demon
that's
lord's
like
finger.
I want to eat your pancreas. It'd be something like I want to eat all 10 of your fingers, or like
Yeah, it would work.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think like yeah, because there are some really, all the ones that have got like dungeon in have got really long titles.
Yeah.
Level 2 of the dungeon in the da 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 da, or like yeah, there's one that's like leveling up in the dungeon, or there's the spider one that's got a really long title. The one with the cute little white and pink spider. My brother watches it. But it's actually got a very long title. I don't
They
know
all
what it
do. It's
is.
insane.
Yeah. What would Pokemon be?
Help! I'm trapped for 30 years as a fucking 10-year-old with a lightning rat bastard following me. Help! Help! My school teacher sent me on a long, over-the-top quest so he could stay at home and fuck my mum.
Like child neglect.
Yeah.
You don't need to go to school. I don't need to go to school. I'm going to catch them all.
Hey, here's a rat. Go and kill God.
Pokemon is so weird.
Yeah. Oh, just completely like looping back slightly to manga while you think of more hilarious titles. One Piece went fucking crazy this week.
Oh, really?
Like, cause, I was saying before, they just because he's a dick, he set up like there was a load of like death flags for one of the like most popular characters,
Hmm.
and then they had them fight the guy that everyone thinks is going to be the big boss of the whole series, and then cut away for like 2 months. They've just fucking done it again. The other one, like these two characters work together to take down a really important character, a really important bad guy.
Mm.
And then one went off to fight the big boss, and then the other one has just gone on to fight fucking Shanks. Like he's just thrown the gauntlet down. The motherfucking red hair Shanks. It's like you're going to die. What the fuck is like last time you fought his lieutenant and you lost an arm. Now you're gonna try and fight the boss, and you really think you're not gonna get murdered. Silly, silly people. Well, I'm
Silly,
slightly worried
silly.
because, like, they now have two quite popular sort of hero characters
Hmm.
fighting the two people who the fandom universally agrees. No one's sure which is the last boss and which is the penultimate boss, but the two people most likely to be the final bosses of the series are now fighting two of the more popular kind of mid-tier characters. They're not both going to lose. So it's obvious one of the bosses is going to win and one is going to lose.
Hmm.
And you can't have like Blackbeard lose because he's like the big last boss. I just have a distinct suspicion Shanks is going to take a bit of a kick in this fight, and I don't know why. But it annoys me because I fucking love Shanks and I want him to win.
Shanks is the best.
He is.
He's a super cool dude.
He is.
I don't even watch it up to date or read it up to date, and I love him. But
Do we know when the film's going to be on Crunchyroll? Do we know if the films are even on Crunchyroll?
I mean, I don't even think like superhero is on Crunchyroll yet, and that came out first.
Oy,
Like
okay.
Dragon Ball. No, no. Due to some payment issue, they're stopping my subscription, which does not make sense because I have not changed my details or anything.
I'm right. I got a very, very obvious, important, and not at all shitty-looking scam email. They're like, "Oh, help! There's been a problem with your Amazon monthly subscription payments.
Get that all the
Please click
time.
this. Please click this link and put in your details." Like, yeah, okay, I'll just do that. Except I have a yearly subscription, and it paid in last month, so I know it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
How about? And also, there's about 4 spelling errors just in your headline. So please just fuck off with these obvious scams.
I know what it is. I'm signed in under Sean's. Here's what happened, right? I have Crunchyroll Premium or regular Crunchyroll, I don't know. When we went to Florida, I wanted to like download all my anime because I was watching My Hero Academia through again, and I thought on the plane I'll just like watch Blaze for a season of that. But to download it, you had to be a premium member, and it would not let me turn my subscription into premium. I think because I joined Crunchyroll so long ago, and I'm on like a much cheaper price than everybody else, it just like wouldn't do it. It's because I'm like on the old plan or whatever.
Mm.
So I got Sean. I said to Sean, "Can you just sign up for Crunchyroll for the month? I'll give you the 12 quid or whatever for the premium, just for this month, so that I can download all of my stuff from."
That's a solid workaround.
Yeah, like because I only need to download it for this holiday. Like I don't need it any other time. So I'm assuming because last month I realized he's been paying for it for like the last 6 months. And I'm like, you don't need this anymore. Like, cancel it.
Maybe the plan wasn't quite as good as we initially thought.
Well, if he paid attention, it would have been totally fine.
Or if you remembered.
So I'm assuming he's remembered to actually cancel it now. But yeah, Dragon Ball Super Superhero isn't on yet, so I don't think One Piece is going to be on there for a while.
Well,
it's unfortunate it takes so long. Like I can understand if it had a long run at cinema, but they were literally at cinema for like a week, or even.
Apparently they were quite. They had definitely Red had quite a long run in Japan.
Right. Okay.
And I think they can't release the DVDs over here before they release them in Japan, and they can't release them in Japan until they've had cinema.
Right.
Yeah. Suffering from success.
Because even if like Crunchyroll did a thing where it's like pay an extra few quid for, like Disney does. Like
I still wouldn't do that. I don't do it when Disney does it. I'm not gonna do it when Crunchyroll.
But I'm
does
sure
it.
like some people would. It's a good film. I enjoyed it. It was there was no Buggy the Clown, but I dealt.
Well, he like not going into details, but I think he's going to be very important in the arc, like because they like, he's done some big things in the manga recently, so he's going to be. They're clearly setting him up for some big shit.
I just love a bad guy who's not really that much of a bad guy because he's
Yeah,
like a
I mean,
bad guy, but he's not really a bad guy.
he's not at all. He was a bad guy in like the first arc, but now he's just sort of a recurring character who's a bit of a dick.
Oh, he was my favorite. Um, yeah. Oh, that spider thing is called "So I'm a Spider." So what? A title that's got two so's in it. That's
Terrible title.
unnecessary.
Yeah.
I'm a spider. So what? That's fine, but so I'm a spider. So what? That's just that frustrates my brain.
Understand.
um. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really excited for the Mario movie still. I say this every time we're on stream. I can't wait for Mario.
I can
I
wait for it.
I will be seeing that when it comes. That's a movie I'm like I will be going, yeah, like as soon as possible from release.
Fair enough.
Uh
Let me know how it is. If it's really good, I might go see it.
I will let you know. And I'm quite a harsh critic of movies just because I've been just underwhelmed by everything I've seen in the last like 10 years. So I just go into every movie now expecting the absolute worst. So even if it's like a 7, I'm like, oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's been quite a while since I've seen a film in the cinema. That's a complete lie. Uh, Spider-Man, No Way Home,
They're like, yeah,
latest one.
yeah.
I really like that. That was a solid fucking flick.
How many Spider-Men do you
Everything I've
want in your
seen
movie?
except for that has been terrible.
Yeah. It's it's unfortunate, but
Yeah,
here we go. But you
I'm
really
hoping.
liked Sorry, go on.
Dune Part 2 is coming out end of this year. I'm hoping that's good. Dune Part 1 was all right, but not great. But Dune Part 2 covers a better part of the story, so I'm hoping it'll be better. And it's going to look fucking fantastic. So
I feel like I enjoyed June. It was, fairly pretty. It was all right. It was a little bit not underwhelming, but I think it would have been a film that felt better seeing at the cinema as opposed to at home
very much
because it's
so.
so grand
Yeah.
and like cinematically like beautiful. So
Yeah.
I think, maybe I'll go see the second one at cinema so that you get the full effect. I think that's definitely a movie that suffered from being seen like at home because it just doesn't, and it is difficult like a lot of the time. I mean, sometimes you sit down to watch a movie and you get your snacks and you get your drinks and you make sure that yeah, we've got nothing else to do. We're just sitting and watching this movie at home. Other times you're in the middle of doing like housework or you've just got like something cooking and there are distractions from the movie and it does just kind of pull you out of the whole experience. And that's the one thing that like when you're at the cinema, you're like there and there's like nothing else for you to do. The only thing that annoys me at cinema is other people on their phones or like
Yeah.
eating really ridiculously loudly or talking. Yeah. But other than
Fuck
that,
those
yeah, like I just don't understand why you pay good money to go and talk for a film.
because they're a dick.
Yeah. And that's expensive. Ant-Man tomorrow is costing over £15 for a regular 2D screening. Mental. And then like all the cinemas are like we're going out of business. And it's
I
like
wonder why.
they have 5 different showings of 2D Ant-Man tomorrow between the times of like 3 and 10 o'clock, right? It's a 2-week-old movie. You don't need 5 showings. If you would just put one on at 7:30, you'd like fill it out. Like that's why you're going out of business and you're charging too much for your tickets. So like people can't afford to. A lot of people are just like, I will wait because like 15 quid, or I'm already paying for Disney Plus. I'll wait 3 months and just watch it for free. Like, because
Yeah.
I haven't even got to buy it on DVD when it comes out. It's just on
Yeah.
my Disney Plus. Do you know what I mean?
Plus, like, it's been kind of slated. I think if it come out, like, No Way Home came out, and everyone was like, "Fuck yeah, it's great, go see it. You got to see it." So they went to like, but Ant-Man is like, "Yeah, it's here. It's certainly a movie." So like, no one's gonna pay this. You don't need to show that 5 times. There's not 5 screenings worth of people that haven't heard the film sucks.
Yeah. So, like, I think the screening we're going to see is just going to be us in it, probably.
Yeah.
Which is, like, fine. I'm happy with that. But the cinema ain't making no money, is it? Like, and
It
then,
probably loses money on that showing.
yeah, so it's like, organize your timings better and, like, what you're showing when you're showing it. And you'd be able to charge people a little less, and everybody would just have a better experience. Like, they come in and stand for like 2 minutes at the bottom, and they like look up in their little like night vision things to make sure no one's like filming it. And I'm like, mate, no one's filming Ant-Man or any film after it's come out, because from a second after it's out, or sometimes before, there's a 4K version of it on the internet already. No one needs a dodgy cam version of a movie. No one's doing that anymore, because you can just download a leaked version from the studio online literally like the moment it's out, if not before. So instead of coming in and make sure that like no one's filming it, how about you make sure that people aren't being like dicks inside a cinema screen?
Ruining the fucking experience for
Yeah.
everyone else.
Like if you actually had someone like going around monitoring and just dipping their head in to make sure people aren't talking or like just on their phones or like sitting, and like kick them out if they are, so that the people that actually want to be there and will be recurring customers aren't gonna not come to the cinema. Because yeah, that's my cinema rant about what cinemas need to do to make it a better experience. And then yeah, just like show repeat cult classics and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like anime, it's all sorts of stuff. Like every anime screening I've been to so far has been at least like half filled, and that's a new release that we don't know. But like if they were to be like, we're gonna show, I don't know, even like if they did like series, like, oh, we're showing series 1 of whatever, and it's like a day thing, so we'll give out goodie bags and we'll have like a merch stand in the, do you know what I mean? There's so much that
That's
like,
the kind of thing Prince Charles Cinema would do.
yeah, like there's just so much stuff that could happen. And yeah, cinema's gonna die. It is gonna die 100%.
Yeah.
Because just through bad business, not even like through people not wanting to go to the cinema.
Mismanagement.
Yeah, just mismanagement. Greed.
10 out of 10, I would go to see if they showed a whole season of anime back to back in a screen. I would absolutely go. Imagine, like, just think back to whatever your favorite anime series was of the past, let's say, year. Think of the most ridiculously hyped moment in that season. Now imagine seeing it in a fucking screening with like 10, 15 other people on a massive screen. That would be ridiculously fun.
I mean, you're watching Mob right now, yeah. If I could have gone to the cinema, like even now, I'd be like, we're going to show series 3 of Mob in its entirety. This is it. This is the end of Mob. Or like, you know, like 3 weekends in a row, they show like season 1, season 2, season 3. Or like, do you know what I mean? Something like that. And yeah, I'd pay good money to go see that. Even though I can watch it for free on my phone right now, I would pay to go to the cinema and watch it.
And
Because
they could even have like authentic kind of anime-esque snacks along one side. Like imagine just sitting down watching a Ghibli film, chomping on onigiri. That'd be the shit.
I've got a friend who's like really hardcore into cinema, and like she sees absolutely everything, and I mean everything apart from anime. That's the one thing that she's not into. But she's like, oh, all these cinemas are going out of business. We need to open now. Like if our filmmaking doesn't take off, then we need to open a cinema. And I'm like, yeah, because like, I think between your like love of classic cinema, my love of like anime and like niche things that like people will pay to come see, like we'd run a really cool little cinema. It'd be like good. It's just getting the licensing to all the stuff. But
that is always the problem.
This is the problem. But it would be cool. There's a lot of business things that are like, oh, that'd be really cool. It'd be amazing. But it's just getting it done. Mostly the venue. Like, wait, unless a cinema goes out of business and you've got enough money to just like go in and be like, yeah, I'll buy your cinema. Like, crazy. But
you wouldn't need that many screens. Like 2, 3 max will be more than enough.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be cool.
It'd be cool. You're in. You're in the business plan.
I'm totally in. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ground floor. I'm in.
Next week on Tangential, it's just the business plan of the cinema.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But
Our pitch meeting for the dragons.
but oh, Dungeons and Dragons movie. There's a new little clip of like, oh, I'm gonna wake up this, bring this guy back from the dead, and we get to ask him 5 questions. This is the guy, the kid from Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's like one of the main characters. And then there's Chris Pine. So Chris Pine's like, okay, and they're asking questions, and so he does the spell and wakes up the dead person, and Chris Pine like looks to the kid and is like, "So can I ask my question?" Oh no, he asks the dead person the first question. He's like, "Were you in the battle of so and so?" And the thing's like, "Yes," and then looks to the kid and goes, "So I've got 4 more questions, right?" And then the dead guy's like, "Yes," and then he's like, "No, I wasn't saying that to you." Just 3 more stupid questions come that aren't actually there, and then he's like, okay, and then he just goes back to being dead. Chris Pine's like, great, fantastic, and actually I'm like, oh, if there's a lot more of this in the movie, because I've watched that clip twice now, and it's funny.
Okay. It's an old joke, but it's a strong one, so I'll allow it.
I just feel like they spent all this time like digging up this body, getting this spell ready, and then they just like ruin it. It was good, yeah. So I'm hoping for more of that, and yeah, more badassery. Yeah, so I'll go see that as well. I'm not actually sure when that one is out, but
Yeah, I think that is one I will definitely be going to see.
I imagine that's a summer. That's gonna be a summer thing.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, like big.
If that's out before like June, I'll be very surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it looks good. It looks good.
Surprising, yeah.
But yeah, I think that might be us for these 2 weeks. We only went on that mid tangent in the middle about DreamWorks movies and something else.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think we've covered everything that
You've covered
I mean,
Mission Impossible, and that's
somehow. And Fast and the Furious. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No. Are we getting new? I think we're getting Hero and Jujutsu chapters.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah. But no One Piece.
Yeah. So we'll have at least 1, but possibly 2 chapters next week. In a couple weeks.
And I strongly suspect we will also have the ending of Marshall, because like he's literally fighting the last boss now, and he's kind of getting his ass kicked. So I imagine 1 week to power up, 1 week to knock him out,
and we'll have 2 episodes of Mandalorian.
Oh fuck yeah! And the last episode of Bad Batch, which I won't really care about because I literally forgot that it was even on until someone was like, "Oh, last episode of Bad Batch is airing same day as the first episode of Mando," and I was like, "Okay, terrible show."
Who cares? Like, yeah, and I will let you know what I think about Man.
Sweet.
But yeah, anyone that's been around, thanks for watching, and as always, I'll put this up on the YouTube. And we'll see everyone in 2 weeks. I don't know why I did that like that, but
Why the fuck not?
Why not? Anyway, adios, people.
Sayonara.